thanks for watching. I have a question this week from Steve in San Francisco. All the way over here, if you can see that. So the question is where to get started on an overall budget. Steve said he tracks food, which is their main variable expense, but wants to get to a comprehensive budget, which is a great question. And I know oftentimes the word budget is like, bleh. People think of budget like a restriction. Like you think of dieting. I can't have this, I can't buy that, I can't do this. I like to take a different perspective on that. So instead of budgeting, maybe you could just look at it as tracking your expenses and setting goals. So the first thing that you want to do is actually check out how much income you have coming in. So your actual take home, not just, oh, I make, $20 an hour, $30 an hour, or I make $50,000 a year. Those are those rough numbers, but you want to look at your actual take home after taxes come out, insurance, 401k, hopefully if you're contributing to that, and anything else that comes out of your paycheck before it actually goes direct deposited into your bank. So start with those numbers, and then you'll kind of know where you're at, where you want to get your expenses to match up to, or hopefully come below that and live within your means. So when I looked online, actually statistics say that less than 1 in 3 households have a budget, which again, the word budget might have a bad connotation, but even still, that just means that people are just spending willy-nilly, like, oh, I want to buy this, I'm going to do that, whatever. Things are going to add up. If you're not paying attention, you're not going to realize, and you might not meet your goals, or maybe you didn't even set goals. So first thing you want to start with is tracking that income, and then tracking your expenses. I would say start with 30 days. Just decide, hey, for the month of October, whatever, you're going to track everything that you spend. And you could actually pause this video and sit down right now, and you can probably calculate most of your recurring monthly expenses that don't change. So if you have a car payment, if you have a mortgage, your utilities might vary a little bit, but you can log into your account and you can probably see what your average was over the last year. Obviously with seasons, if you live somewhere like here in Ohio, your gas bill, your electric, those are all going to fluctuate, but you can get a rough estimate, and I'd say err on the higher side of that, just so you're prepared for those months that are higher. So even just writing these things down is a powerful thing. I remember on Susie Orman's show, she would always say, stand in your truth. And I think sometimes people think, oh, if I don't write it down, or if I don't look at the numbers, oh, everything's just going to work out. It's like not going to the doctor and thinking like, if I don't go to the doctor, I'm healthy, right? Everything's fine. So instead of doing that, take the power and write that down, start tracking. You might actually be surprised, like, hey, yeah, I have these bills that I thought were adding up, but if I stop eating out 3 times a week, look how much money I can save. So I would say just start with tracking before you want to actually set your monthly budget. If you want to use another word for budget, your monthly expenses, money in, money out. Hey, make the spreadsheet fun, set it up however you want. And you don't even need to get fancy. Like, you can make a spreadsheet, you can go online and use a calculator. You can even write this down on a little scrap piece of paper. At least if you have those numbers somewhere, you have something to aim for. So main categories for those expenses, you're going to have housing, whether that's a mortgage or rent, or just utilities. You're going to have your car-related auto, or actually you could just say transportation. You might live in New York or San Francisco and not have a car, but you're still going to be paying for some type of transportation, whether that's Uber, taxi, MetroCard, whatever. You want to account for that. You want to account for insurance, food, obviously, whether you're eating out or even if you cook every meal at home, you want to estimate what you're spending on that, as well as your utilities. And I would say definitely always have a miscellaneous category, because even if it's something you don't spend every month, you're going to buy Christmas gifts, you're going to have those sudden expenses come up, like a car repair, even if your car is paid off. So I always have a miscellaneous category. If you go to any of the websites, I'll put at least one link in the comments in the description below, and you can use that if you want to have a very structured plan. But even just getting some numbers on paper, it's a good place to start. Your expenses are going to be variable every month, but getting this started is going to help you set your goals and then ultimately to reach your goals. So whether that's savings, retirement, saving for a vacation, you can make it all a lot more fun and not so restrictive if you just get realistic and start writing these things down. So I recommend start with 30 days of tracking. You'll probably actually know what things are going to be variable, but at least you can just get started with those fixed expenses. You know you're going to have those every month, so obviously you want to know that you can pay those bills. If you have any comments, leave those below, and thanks for watching. Until next time, remember, be thrifty, be kind, and hug the ones you love.